Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn it on.
Susan, you know when you don't hit record?
We were awesome, people. I
You
just want to
missed it.
tell you,
You
we were
missed-
so good.
Our greatness here.
I solved the world's problems. I have all the answers, and now it's over. So I don't know where we're going to go with that.
Welcome to Lemonadio. Welcome to all that is witchy woo. We've got an absolute full moon energy going on. Like I can't even describe to you. And who better to talk about it with than our favorite happy medium, Susan? It's been way too long.
Way too long.
And we've been going through all of our stuff. I feel like we said before when we were not being awesome here now, there is a lot happening in the world. The vibration is high. The craziness of the election this time of year.
Solar flares.
Oh, like right?
It's really is affecting us. Like it's really affecting us.
There are so many things in the cosmos right now that are happening. And then there's so many things in our personal lives that are happening. And it's just kind of a lot.
Just a lot.
Is everybody
It's like
feeling
too much?
like it's just a lot right now? Yeah, I missed all of the beautiful Aurora Borealis.
Oh, you missed it. Oh, yes, you did. I saw that scribble.
Right,
That was
that-
hysterical.
Yeah, but I've already seen it. So I feel like, everybody else needs to have an opportunity. I'm fine. I've seen it in real life. I'm okay.
You have. You already saw it. So it's off my bucket list, but it
I'm
is
okay.
fantastic.
Yeah.
For those who are supposed to see it. Like that's how we have to go through life. Like if it's not coming to you, then it wasn't yours. So that wasn't yours. You've got another one.
I find you very calming and sage in times of what the hell.
You're so good. I didn't. Yeah.
What the hell? Let's talk to Susan. I need some guidance. For whatever reason, you are she's intuitive, she's sensitive, and you definitely feel all of the feels of others, unfortunately, which is not always a great thing for everyone.
Yeah. No, it's been a lot. I understand now when people go into like a cave and don't come out.
I never got it. And I feel like you were honestly put into my world to understand that for my child, who is also deals with feeling all of the feels of others and everything around her.
I was thinking of her this morning.
Oh,
My
I love
Miss
that.
Bill. I think of her often and I'm like, is it time to reach out yet? And the universe is like, nope, not yet. Let her perk a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's coming. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give her a call and just touch base and say hi. Because it's crazy where she's at right now.
Yes, it is a lot.
Too much. I couldn't do it. So she gets huge props for that.
We were at Parents Weekend and we came up and we were kind of buzzing around with the haunted happenings that are going on there. And she pulled the ripcord. She's like, I'm good. We were there maybe 45 minutes and she's like, I'm done. Capped
Right.
it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we were fine to leave it. I don't need that chaos. We ended up taking both of them to an apple orchard 25 minutes away. My two
Perfect.
teenagers
I
ran
love
around
that.
and picked apples and then I dropped her back
Grounding.
off at college.
Instead of the up here crazy, we need to go look for the grounding.
I mean,
and you
I-
did that naturally. Like
Yeah.
your body just naturally said, let's go.
Yeah, and but she absolutely directed that ship, and I was fine for it. It's nice to see what the haunted happenings are in all of Salem and all of that chaos, and then it's nice to leave it. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Bye.
And the poor people that live in that.
You either embrace it or you move. Like
That's it.
these are your
Go
options.
on vacation for the month. Yeah, you just have to deal.
These are your
Well,
options.
We all have to pick and choose. Are we going to
Yeah.
live in Florida? All those people that just moved to Florida.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I know we have family members that just moved to
Yeah.
Florida and twice have lost all of their belongings. I'm like,
And then we look at it as a cleansing.
yeah,
We
you have
can't look
to.
at it as a punishment. It's not a punishment. It was a choice. B, we're now in it. So now what do we do? And we
Yeah.
all have that. Theirs just went to Florida. Ours is still sitting here.
Yeah, right.
Ours is on Cape Cod.
Facts. So Susan has been working on this. What are you calling the trailer?
Oh, my woo wagon.
I love the Woo Wagon. I have been inspired by you once again. Because we have this space and I'm getting phone calls from containers and what are we going to do? And I need a place for all of this stuff. And so I've got this little Winnebago, tiny little thing sitting in my yard right now doing nothing. And I was like,
And that's a
it.
project.
It's a massive project. But we were at the Cranberry Bog in Yarmouth that is by one of the restores, if you will, on 28. And I was like, why are we not using that camper for that? At least we can have a warm spot to vend from.
And it's fun and it's cute. You can do it really. I will help you.
Yeah. Okay.
So I took a 2-horse trailer and gutted it. And I'm making a space because I had a really hard time finding a space since COVID to work out of. And my home insurance wouldn't let me work out of my house, even though I had a studio.
Great.
They were not going to insure me. And I went, well, this is the stupidest thing.
Right.
I could put it on Airbnb and have strange people come through my house, but I can't work. I can make money out of it, but I can't make money out of it doing what I do, which then did not make sense.
No.
I can rent it long-term and short-term for people to sleep. So if you come over and sleep, I'll give you a reading.
It's the hospitality that you didn't know you needed.
Right? Like, so how can I get around this loophole?
Yeah.
And so they can insure my vehicle. I can get that insured to be a work vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's how I got around it.
See, that's it. Make an entrepreneur work for it. She'll find a way.
Right?
Yes, we will.
We don't like no. There is no such thing as no in my vocabulary.
We will figure it out anyway.
It's just no, not that way.
Right.
There's a back door. There's always a back door, people. There's always a back door.
Well, and I like that you're here talking about it. You're very intuitive. She's a medium. If you've not had a reading from Susan, I definitely suggest that you find her somewhere because she sees things and just that you're not paying attention to. So it's really nice to know that, okay, we're taking it all in, but also that you can shift things to change that. It's not always set in stone the way things have been laid out for you.
Totally.
Your existence in general, everyone.
Right. Like if you don't like the reading that you get, it's probably for a good reason for you to go, I didn't like what she said. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people kind of get mad at me, but I'm like kind of the messenger. And
yeah.
I'm like, good. Don't like it.
Change it.
They want you to be mad.
Right.
They want to get that fire going to say, I'm not believing in that. I'm not going to accept that. That is not going to be my story. And if it took you to get a little upset, then good. No, that's probably what you needed.
Who is the they?
Oh, good question. They is a group. I have a council that works with me, for me, that is me, that we get a little, the I am.
Yeah.
So it's one and the same. And that's why when people go, well, I don't know if it's my voice or someone else's voice. You're not going to get someone else's voice.
Yeah.
Most of the time you're going to get your voice because it's you. We all have that knowing. And after so many near-death experiences, I kept collecting new friends to go back and forth. Like Stephanie has got lots of friends all over the world. It's kind of like the same thing. It's just in the spirit world. And so, they assist me in this journey going, oh, if we send you back, this is really going to be a poop show.
Yeah. Right.
You need all the help you can get. So
there you go.
I get a little boost.
And guides.
Yeah, they're lovely. I did want to say, I don't know if we can say this, but the woman that you had just interviewed.
Yes, Gail.
Her mother came through.
Really?
Yes. In my kitchen.
You know what? There were 3 or 4 people that reached out to me after that interview yesterday, and they were like, I was moved. I was touched. There was something going on.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
She has lots of guides working with her. Lots of guides.
And she's
constantly.
Just really just an incredible human being to be around.
Beautiful. Just listening. It was like, oh, I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I just love that feeling. I'm like, oh, I hope I have that feeling. Like, I love that.
And it's also nice to be around someone that's like very discerning. Like, you don't have to do that, or that's okay. And I'm going to do this. And this is what works for me. So you do what you're going to do. It's very nice to be around. And sometimes we surround ourselves with yes people, or sometimes we surround ourselves with this, it's not a clear lens. I feel like she's a really good lens to view something. You're going to go from here to there. This is how you get there. It's a nice, clear lens. So that's the only way I can describe it as.
And it's free from ego.
Yes.
For her, and especially when you're doing this work, there is no, you can't have ego involved. It just blocks it.
Yeah.
And it distorts the vision, because then it turns into your manipulated vision.
Yep.
She doesn't have that. She
Yeah.
has this open, and if she doesn't have the answer, it's not personal. She knows the next person to go to. She has people.
What did her mom say? Or she was just like there?
Oh, her
I'm
mom
here
was
adoring my daughter.
Yes, she
Yeah,
was
that's
so
awesome.
proud of her, and just so it felt like there was a lineage, like her mom had passed the torch, and that she was now carrying it, but she is doing a better job than her mom did.
Yeah.
And I know that she would never agree to that. Like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, she's
But that's,
really is doing.
that's what we're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to
Exactly.
push the needle forward. We had talked about
Mhm.
that yesterday. So yeah.
Yeah. She's a really cool person. So 10 points for her.
I love that you felt that. And that's like those moments what Susan feels. And I love that you can share that with people, because not everybody gets to notice that or be around that.
Oh,
space.
I'm even tearing up now from yesterday, because when her mom came in and she took that moment to kind of, you gave her that moment.
Yeah.
That's huge too. Giving other people their emotional space in this time when it pops up. You gave her that moment, and we need to be kind and do that. No one's
Yeah.
giving anybody breaks. We're not letting anybody pull out in front of us. We're not giving anybody breaks.
Yeah.
And we need to start doing that. We need to find compassion and respect. And we've lost that somewhere since COVID. It disappeared, and it needs to come back. We need to have that. And so her mom, when she was taking that moment, that's when her mom came through. That's why she had this, her energy, her mom's energy is so huge that when she came through, I was tearing up in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know this woman.
Yeah. Right. And well, that was it. We had
Yeah.
never met in person. We've always been around each other's spaces, but never physically met. And here she was like, yeah, I'll go over your house. Yeah, I'll do a show with you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, cool. I
Come
love
on,
that.
my friend. Come on.
And you're the conduit to bringing amazing people to the show. I love that.
I love that people say yes. I'm like, are you sure? Okay. You know, it's just me. And here we are, Cape Cod's happy medium in the studio with us. You've been working on a lot of things.
This year has been tough for me.
Yeah. Talk
Yeah.
about it.
So I started in the spring. I broke my piggy toe.
Yeah. It's
In two places. Now everyone look at your toe for a second. It's only this big. How do you break it in two places? Like, I couldn't even break a stick into two places like that.
But that dumb little injury is like, it's just that nuisance that stops you from doing so much.
And so it made me pause. It put me in the timeout chair for 11 weeks, because I didn't listen. So I was out there. I'm like,
Weird.
this is not going to stop me. I can do this. And then I was like, so I was dealing with that, and there's emotional and physical aspects to that. So when we do get something that is presented in our life, especially in our physical body, take the moment. Don't lose that moment to really look and say, okay, what does the foot represent? And it's the fear of moving forward. There were two little broken aspects in my being that was keeping me from moving forward with effort. In effortless motion. And so I had to stop and look at that. What is that? And it was the people that I was dragging along in my journey that's not in my journey. It was letting go of two separate aspects that I really had to sit with. And that was painful, because it's the people that you love the most, or that are the closest to you, that is the hardest lesson. So I worked with that. I don't know if I passed the test. We'll see if I break something else, but I think I did. I think I did good. And then I got Lyme.
This is a terrible game. You don't like this.
It's an awful game. And then Lyme really took me out. That was spring. So that was right after my foot healed. I was like, yay, I'm out of jail. I can run around. Bam. I woke up and I thought I had stiff person disease. I just
God, look what you did to us, Celine.
I'm like, Oh my God. I didn't go to Lyme. I went immediately to stiff person.
Of course. I love us.
Right? So I'm like, oh my God, I seriously cannot
This is it.
move.
This
And
is
so
what I
I was
have
like, I
now.
couldn't even dial 911 if I wanted to. I literally like had,
So awful.
so then that was that.
Antibiotics helped.
2 rounds.
Ugh.
So I had it clearly for a while, but I did have like a ring, the little red ring.
Yeah.
I wanted a big ring. I didn't listen to the little ring. I thought, oh, that can't be it. That's just like whatever that is. I was expecting the ta-da, the bullseye
Aren't you
of
the
all
one that's
bullseyes.
supposed to notice all these signs except for you?
Right?
It's like the cobbler's kids story. They're the
Mhm.
ones with the worst shoes.
Totally. And I just didn't listen. And so whose fault is that? But it goes back to I didn't listen.
Mhm.
How can I be a better listener when I'm getting the signs and symptoms and the things that are here for myself? Because I physically was, gaslighting my own health and well-being.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not it. Or, oh, that's getting old. Or maybe that's hormones.
Why do
or
we
blah,
do
blah, blah.
this? And you're not the only one. That is just a common thing many of us do.
We do it. We
Yeah.
do it to ourselves. And so that was the next thing. Okay, I could make the journey really painful, or Susan, you could just listen to the signs that are given to us.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of the broken down when people ask, how can I navigate easier? It's listen to those signs and the things that are, that giant billboard. Yeah, that's for you.
I know. It's such a good lesson though. And it's stuff that we really, really don't pay attention to. And I'm really this is my goal for the rest of the year.
To be a better
maybe,
listener.
Maybe you're gonna just listen a little bit and see where we're going with all of this.
Yeah.
You have been working. Is it a movie?
It is. It's an amazing movie. I'm so excited. This was it was the hardest thing and the best thing.
This is not the first movie that she's been in. It's not the first acting role. You've been collecting these small roles for a while, and this one's a bigger.
This is big.
Yeah.
And I was, I'm only in it as an extra because I was doing production this year.
That's fun.
This one was production and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was, they called me set mom. A, because I was the oldest person there.
Well, whatever. We don't have to talk about that.
And B, I'm just that natural mother.
I feel like it was your loving presence, Susan.
Right? The little mother. I'd be like, because I was in charge of the set and I'm, that aspect of production but then I make sure that everybody had, do you have snacks?
Yeah.
Do you have water? Because it was hot this summer.
Yeah.
And we're in an unair conditioned state mental asylum.
Mm.
And it was haunted and it was so creepy and so scary. And I brought a dead person home, or a few of them.
You're like, guys, you're not supposed to
And
be with me.
So
You were supposed to stay there. Sorry.
So the movie's called Stonegate, and we filmed it out of Tewksbury Mental Hospital
Mm.
in Tewksbury, Mass. And so I would do that all the way to Tewksbury during the summer, over the bridge, back and forth.
Ugh.
Right? The ride was horrible.
Yeah.
The ride was horrible, but I just had to do it. And the director, Daniel Groom, he's fantastic. I believe in him. And I trust in his work. He's fantastic. And
When is the release happening?
it is going to be spring.
Okay.
He's really working. I've already seen a couple clips. He's like, what do you think of this? What do you think? I'm like, oh my God, this is his best work yet.
Yay.
Best work yet. It's fantastic. If you're on social media, you can follow him on PAE, Para Act Entertainment. You can follow him there. He does little clips and things like that. It was a really young, fresh, vibrant cast.
Yeah.
And then they were great and they gave it their all, and it's going to show.
I'm excited for it. Stonegate suspense thriller that Susan is going to be involved in, and be looking for it in the spring. Right now it's woo season, and the Cape Cod Happy Medium has a Halloween Eve spectacular.
Dun, dun, dun. I want to scream.
BarnstableComedyClub.org is where you can find tickets and find out about this evening. So what are you going to be talking about? Just a collection of all of your spooky?
Yeah, they came to me and said, hey, would you do something? They saw me at another event, another stand-up that I did, and they were like, could you come and talk to the people and do spooky stories?
Yep.
So I also investigate. We investigate places.
In another
houses,
part of
areas.
Susan's life, she was a detective. She did work for a police department.
And so we use those investigative skills to investigate haunted locations. And so Daniel and I work together. He's the IT guy. You got to have everybody needs
Always,
an IT guy.
absolutely.
Yep. And he's just amazing. And his vision is great. And we work very well together. And he's very young. He's in his 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, he's young. So I know they tell me where he's going. So I'm standing behind you because
Yeah, right.
This is like sort of the rocky path that I walk on. He's like the escalator. I'm going, oh, I'm gonna follow
That's
him.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He knows the steps to take. We go that way.
And so we investigated the comedy club. And
it's just such an amazing area of Barnstable. There is ghost tours and there is paranormal tourism right through that area. It's one of the oldest areas. It's just teeming with a lot of happening.
Yep. You could pick an acorn and throw it at a ghost. There's so many there. It's like across the street. I used to work there when it was a law office a long time ago. And that is haunted.
Yeah.
So like every building there's something happening.
Yeah.
And so we did the investigation so I could add it into the story.
Very cool.
Yeah. And they've got great stories. So I don't want to ruin any of the stories. So you're going to have to come down, and the doors open at 6 and from 7 to 8:30, and then questions after that. So
it's $20. It's a really entertaining thing to do during our witchy season. So I definitely suggest that you go and just get some good real ghost stories. Yeah. It's a lot different than watching it on TV when you're in person and you're in that atmosphere that is definitely ghost charged. It is.
And there's ghosts walking around. So this particular ghost that's there, I'll drop a little bit hint, but there is a woman that is walking around that has been seen in there. And she was very shy, but she followed us around the whole time. So my guess is that she's going to be sitting out in the audience when I'm doing this talk.
So freaky.
It is so freaky. So it'll be really cool.
That person is not really a person anymore.
Yeah, right? Go, oh, excuse me. Do you want to sit down? And then there's nobody there. You're like,
okay. That's kind of cool. Yeah. We do have some questions out there and people that have really want some answers if you're up for that.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Paul says that it's been 1 year since his wife passed, and I would like to know if she's okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's fine. He's needing comfort. People ask me this all the time.
Yeah.
My loved ones have passed, and what's, are they okay? Are
they
suffering? It was a tragic death. How blah, blah, blah. When you go to the other side and having 5 near-death experiences, not one is the same.
Yeah.
Each one is different. So not everybody has the same path, but nobody is the same. Anyways,
right. Exactly.
Right? So she had her own process that may have been hard for him to understand or to get around. But she's detached from that now. That is not her. That was her human experience. And now she's into her spiritual experience. 2 different things.
Okay.
2 different things. There is no ego there. Right. So we lose the ego. The ego is attached to all sorts of garbage. She left all that behind. So if you had an attachment thing to person, places, and things, you don't have that anymore. And so that journey for her is now in peace.
Okay.
She's come to peace with it. She may be working on reviewing that and going, oh, that was a sloppy moment in time, or, oh, I could have handled that better. We do get to look at those things, but they're not in the same human pain that we have.
Okay.
Because there's no more jealousy, and there's no more anger, and there's no more hatred, or all the stuff that we, carried, or there's not the too much love. When we get to the other side, sometimes too much love is not a good thing. And so it's actually a kind of a violent act towards somebody. Is I love you so much, I'm going to make your decisions for you.
Mm.
That's not okay. And so we leave that behind too. And she is yeah, she's just she's living her best life right now.
Okay.
There was a lot of suffering for her. And so now she is looking at it, she's reflecting on it, but that she does want him to what's the saying, Paul?
Yeah.
She does want him to move forward. Like it's time.
You can do it, Paul.
Yeah, it's time.
She's
And it's
good.
okay.
So you can be good.
Yeah. Go live your best life now.
Lynn says, I have given up on love. I've deleted all the dating apps, washed my hands of it, and now I'm wondering if that's the right thing to do.
Bwah, bwah.
All the apps.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, delete those apps because in person, real time is where you're going to be able to really be able to see authenticity.
Yeah. I had 2 success stories this summer.
Very
Just
good.
people coming to our market, meeting each other. I know. I loved it. Very natural, very it was just it warmed my heart. And now we've got, some fun volunteers that are kind of looking for it now,
Oh,
though. I'm
now
like,
it's
you
the
can't look
place.
for it.
No, you can't look
You
for
just gotta let it happen if it happens. But it
Yeah.
was really nice to naturally meet somebody where they both were like, we're deleting the apps and we're actually together. And I
Cool.
thought that was really, really a cool
Oh,
moment
I
for me.
love that. It's organic at the organic
I
market.
know, I
Ah!
know. I know. It was cheesy, but honestly, it warmed my heart, so I loved it.
So that's what you've got to do. You've got to find what your passion is. Where is your joy? What do you enjoy doing?
Yeah.
And then go do that.
I think people forget that a lot when they're like, I don't know, cruising for a date. TikTok had a big thing this summer where it was like grocery store dates where you bumped carts. And if you met in the wine section, then it was meant to be. You can't force these opportunities to happen. You have to let them happen, but it has to be in a space in which you like.
Right. Because if you're going to where the men are,
Right.
or where the women are, and you don't like that,
Right.
they're going to expect that from you. Well, I met you at the racetrack. Didn't
Yeah.
you like it? And you're like, oh, I hated it, but I just wanted to meet somebody.
Yeah.
That's really, it's not authentic.
No.
Right.
And
So
you're
you
not
gotta
going to be happy in the long run either if that's not
No.
your true passion. Like if you're going bowling because you think you're going to meet a hot guy or you like the whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't like bowling 6 months later.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Right.
last.
No, and it's not you when you are in your zone. Have you ever taken a picture when you're on a vacation or you're someplace where you're just relaxed and released and you're like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are your best pictures because you're shining from the heart.
Yeah, I like that too. So yeah, delete the apps, but actually you have to do some work and get out there in person and decide what you like.
Right. It
Dory,
started.
speaking of that vacation, Dory said she would like to know she is going to find some extra money to go on vacation. She desperately needs it. Where's the money at, Susan?
Where is
Show
the
me
money?
the money. Where is it? Stephanie also would like to know where the money is and if
Right.
that's going to come anytime soon because we need to monetize some things.
Right.
We're not doing a great job.
Get in line. Get in
I
line.
know,
No
right? Sorry,
cutting.
Dory, you're first. You need a vacation, Dory.
Dory, you've been going through a lot of difficult times. This has been a very rough year for you. And I have to say, girl, this is part of your own doing. They said you overextend yourself. You overextend yourself and then you're left with nothing. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a blessing that you can make it through anything. And you can create the worst environment and make it beautiful. Your energy is that powerful. So let's stop giving it away and start bringing it towards yourself and holding that. This is your gift, not to give away and not to squander, but to hold and embrace.
Oh, I like that.
Because other people are going to learn from that. Have you taught anybody by giving yourself away? Has anybody learned from that?
No.
They just keep coming back going, what can you give me? What can
Yeah.
you give me? Give me more, give me more. You got to stop that because when you stand there, right now you're standing there with an empty vessel and no one's learning anything from that. But if you stood there with all that abundance that you have and that beauty, then, oh my gosh, people are going to go, I want what she has. And then you go, well, you're going to have to
Get
create
in
it
line.
yourself. Get in line.
Make your own.
Make your own. Make your own.
The oven's over there.
Right? The energy just exudes, but when you're depleted, you have nothing and you're not shining. So I
Yeah.
want you to polish yourself up, stop giving away your stuff, and start playing hard. This is hard for you because you're a giver, but you've got to stop or you're going to keep falling into the ravine.
Dory,
You'll
you got to make the money.
It'll come. The money's there. It's just you gave it away.
I love that.
You gave away your vacation.
Pam is asking, where do you see me in the next 2 months? What do I need to be aware of?
Bum, bum, bum.
Right? Well, I don't know. That sounds ominous, Pam.
It does.
What do you want to be aware of? What have you done, Pam? No, I'm kidding.
Right. Well, and interesting enough, when we don't want to see things, we'll get injuries to our eyes or we'll get styes or you get something that you're like, oh, I can't see. I have to stay or I have to wear sunglasses. It's like, what are you hiding? And don't trust people that walk around with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Do not.
Huh. Interesting.
Especially inside. That is a flag. That is a red flag. Just don't. Because they're covering. They don't want you to see who they really are.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So, what was her question? I totally
She was asking
Oh, yeah.
what is coming up in the next 2 months for her.
All right. What would be good for her? It's so funny. Everybody is in the same place. We're all struggling at the same time. We're all on the struggle bus. We are all on the struggle bus.
Is it possibly because Hunter is asking, it starts with an E and it's in 3 weeks? It's political.
Oh. I'm like Easter?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. See, time is elusive too. Have you felt like you're
Yeah.
like in a weird time warp?
Yeah.
It's real, people.
I had 2 vacations happening in the same weekend. Yeah. Like, oh, that does not look great.
So I pulled the beast. The beast is Pam's inner beast, her own demons that are
Okay.
coming out, and she's sitting with it. And she put herself in time out because she's now in prison, the prison card.
Yeah.
Which means she put herself in this timeout so that she probably likes to run and avoid and not deal with and zhuzh it up with distraction. And they're like, no more distraction. You are in so timeout right now. It is painful for you in every aspect because they're telling me you have been running for years.
Okay.
Okay. So all of these things are now in your lap. And for the next 5 months, until we come out of a dark period, you are stuck, but there's liberation. So the good part is that the door is coming. You probably can't see it, but there's a couple of doorways that are opening and there's freedom there for you. And there's liberation if you sit down and do the hard work, and you need to.
Pam, well, that's what she says. I need to be aware of it. So
Yeah.
Pam, you're aware of it now. Do
And
the
when
work.
we know what the elephant is in the room, you're like, oh, it's just an elephant.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to start saying, a lot of it was boundaries. They're like, start saying no. Start saying no, but know why you're saying no. Just don't know that it doesn't sit well in my vibration. And that has to be, how does this feel for me right now? How does this person in my life or this job or wherever it is, how does this sit for me? And if it's not sitting well, then it's time to let it go. And it's okay. And do it in a passive, beautiful way. Don't
What is that?
Angry person. And like if someone's hurting you or someone's breaking up with you, and thank them for cheating on you or thank them for moving on from you.
You're such a bigger person than I am. Such a petty.
Because they did it easy. They did it easy for
I
you,
guess,
right? They
I
let
guess.
it go. Like it could be dragged out. And I think that's what's happening. Pam doesn't know when to get off stage.
Ah, Pam, did you hear that? You've been made aware.
The curtain closed, get off stage.
Next.
The house lights are coming down.
Right. The next act is already on.
Get off.
You're done. Your
Done.
time is over. Will you pull a couple cards for me?
Yes, because we skipped you. You did get in the back of the line, didn't you?
I'm
Okay.
okay. I'm okay with that. I don't
You're
need to be in
okay.
the front.
No, you're like,
I'm good. You guys,
Okay.
I'll lift you up here. Here you go. Oh,
The cave. Once again, I am so sorry. Yes.
is it because I
Um,
work from my basement? I'll take that.
We are in the cave. It is actually nice.
This is my cave.
The light is there. So they're saying don't get all jammed up with the delivery. I don't know
Okay.
what that means. Don't buy into, don't get jammed up. Create the reality you want.
Okay.
Okay. And
I'm
that's
good
the
at
light.
that.
You're sitting there naked in a cave and you could stay there, or you could get up, put some clothes on
Yeah.
and go outside,
That's
wash your
fair.
face. Right. So choose how you want to do this. They're giving you that option, which is nice because not everybody gets that option.
Yep. That's true.
Um,
Ugh, why is she here? Get her off the table. I'm like,
Yes.
I can't.
This is health and well-being.
Okay.
This represents doctors.
Great.
Yeah.
Story
and
of my
so-
life. Hi, guys.
But that's in the past.
Okay.
So I feel like you're moving past that.
Okay.
The mother card is that you're getting certain challenges from your children, and each one is in a different spot.
Yep.
Totally different spot. And so you're getting challenges, and let's see what you need to. You're doing what you need to do.
Okay.
As long as you and your husband, as long as you and Cliff are working together as a team.
Yep.
In friendship.
Yep.
Which you guys have this amazing thing moving forward. All of this can be handled.
Okay.
But you cannot and do not expect to do it by yourself.
Okay.
And that sometimes you do.
I've
Because
been
it's
leaning
easier.
better. I have
Good.
been leaning better, which is
Okay.
not a normal thing for me to do. And I have been.
Yeah, because it shows. That's not the conflict. The conflict is whatever was on your plate. Now you have to work as a cohesive unit.
Yep.
And just move forward past it. Oh, that was sloppy. Look at that.
You're right.
And just kind of keep there it goes. Just let it behind us and then discord it. Like we aren't carrying anything forward. There's just no room.
Yeah.
The energy is so full. We can't pull anything from our childhood. Just let it go.
And I
please.
love that these were all like personal stuff and not just like work stuff. Cause I really am trying to foster more like what's happening in my real life.
Yeah, your work is not
I'm so
the
glad.
issue.
I'm so glad.
You got that. Yeah. You get points for
No, but yeah, we're doing the work around here. But as soon as I saw that one, I'm like, that's been a source around here. Not my mother ring, but my mother has been just popping up all over the place. And there's the card. So great. Wonderful. We're so happy for that card.
Who else wants bad news?
Yeah, right. It's definitely not. Once again, you can change these readings. And it was so funny because I've got so
Right.
many people bopping in going, oh no, wait for spirit to tell you something. Nothing. Let them lead the message. So many things. I have so many things. Tonight's Powerball numbers.
Oh, nice.
No, you're never going to get those. That's not what they want you to know. Sorry.
Mhm.
They don't work in that
But
world.
I still ask. I'm like, please.
Right?
can
Why not?
Yeah,
Is it going to make my life a little easier? Maybe.
probably not.
You've got a collection of ghost stories. She's got a collection of fabulous stuff that she wants you to hear. And it's happening over at the Barnstable Comedy Club. BarnstableComedyClub.org is where you can get tickets to see our Cape Cod Happy Medium, Susan. And like I said, it's $20. It's Halloween Eve. It's just a really fun way to celebrate the season. And if you're into any witchy woo or paranormal investigation, this is a fun event for you to do so at a low barrier to entry.
Yeah, yeah. And the money goes back to the building. It
Yeah.
goes back to keeping it going. No one's making money over there.
Right.
Right. Like most of it's volunteer and people keeping it going. And it's a great piece of history too.
Yeah.
The building, just to go into the building and sit there is really cool.
And I'm excited for your suspense thriller Stonegate, and we'll be following you on your adventures. And I love the fact that you're behind the scenes doing some production, because I think that's the joy of it a little bit, is making the story.
I really don't like the camera on me and get really awkward.
But you're so cute with it though.
It's so hard. But I love behind the scenes. I love feeding people and making them realize their full potential.
Yeah.
And that's always so much fun for me.
Joy.
Yeah.
It's what
Yeah.
she's bringing to this world. And I cannot wait to see you and glitter, throne. We're ready for it. Where else can people get a reading from you? She does table tipping. You do pop up here and there. So I would love for people to be able to get a reading with you.
Yeah, no, I've got a bridal shower coming up, a tea
Fun.
leaf bridal shower. It is really fun. It's they wanted something different. They
Yeah.
wanted something that kind of was they're very Irish,
Yep.
and so their great grandmothers and grandmothers used to sit around in tea leaf.
Yeah.
So they said this would be wonderful. And I was so excited to hear that. So I was like, oh, I can't wait for that. I also have a private table tipping event that they're having a dinner party. And then afterwards, they want to get together and do a little Victorian seance.
I
And
love
so
it.
that's going to be fun too.
Let's get weird. Book times with Susan.
Well, and winter time's coming. So when things get slow, we have that moment to be able to do out of the box fun stuff. So,
Yeah.
or you can just get a regular reading. I do readings over at Hydrate Cape Cod in Centerville,
Okay.
and I use that space in the evening. Lisa is amazing. She's the owner over there, and she is Lisa Fleming, I should say. Sorry, just Lisa. She's lovely, and that space is so good. Like it's on multi levels of healing that you can just the energy over there is wonderful.
I like
And that's
that.
what drew me to that, because if you're going through any sort of treatments or you have some health issues, there's these magic concoctions and people leave feeling better and raving about that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued. Gonna have to go find Lisa also. Put that on my list of healing adventures.
Yeah, because water is our body, like we're all water. And so when we get depleted and dehydrated, it's not good. We don't process the things that we need to, and we don't eliminate, which is about what we're in. It's about elimination. So go check out Lisa at Hydrate Cape Cod.
Yeah.
And so I do in-person readings there until I can get my woo wagon up, and then I can see you someplace else. So I'm just getting creative about reaching out to people, but I also have people online that I do readings that are all over the world, and they can't be in person. So that works out too.
So how do people find you for these?
CapeCodHappyMedium.com. You can go online and make your own appointment. If you have questions, just go, hi, I have a question, and I'll call you back and we'll set up something that works for you.
She's amazing. I definitely suggest you spend a little time with Susan. You will be happier for it. I can guarantee that for sure. Is your circumstance going to change? We don't know, but it's really on you. So
we'll laugh together.
Yeah,
about
right.
It.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that. Great.
So if you don't see her Halloween Eve, you can find her CapeCodHappyMedium.com. And thank you so much for coming here, spending this time with me today.
You are always so busy, so I feel very blessed to be here. Thank you.
Oh, please. We are going to be talking to Brien Hines coming up in just a second. He is working on a flag project that is honoring not just our veterans, but all of the people in our lives that are our heroes. So, Brien, take it away. We're joined today by Brien Hines from the Field of Honor and Dennis Project. Maybe you can introduce yourself to our listeners and talk a little bit about the project.
Sure, absolutely. So I grew right here, up here in the Cape. Went to Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School for 20 years. Shortly after high school, I joined the Navy and joined the submarine service, and I did that for about 20 years. Then I went to DC and I developed trainers for the Navy. And now my wife and I have come back to the Cape to help out her mom. So when I retired from the government, I made the determination that I did want to do something with veterans and first responders. And when I came back to the Cape, there was a need here to take on the Field of Honor. So that's what I did. A little bit about the Field of Honor. The Field of Honor itself is a display at Johnny Kelley Field of over 400 flags that have been sponsored by individuals, friends and family members that have lived a life of service. So it's a beautiful display, over 400 flags, and it's very breathtaking.
It's absolutely beautiful. I've seen it before. I used to play Dennis women's flag football, but more importantly, I saw you out on the field for one of the chamber events, raising some funds and for a little bit of visibility because, we honor our veterans just this one time a year, and they do so much for us year round, to get people motivated this time of year and to open up those wallets. So that's what we're here for today, is to get some of these flags sponsored, right, Brien?
I absolutely appreciate that. And coming back to the Cape, I have been impressed of people's willingness to reach out to help veterans. So I think it's been amazing. So to sponsor flag, there's multiple ways you can sponsor a flag. I was just at the Sandala this weekend for kind of a meet and greet to meet some folks that couldn't actually get online and print out our trifold sponsor form. And that was great because I love hearing the stories of family members and friends. And, this kind of brings it all together for me.
That's
And
got to be
reason
the
why I
best
do it.
part of your job, is to just connect with other veterans and to hear fabulous stories.
Absolutely. But let's not forget, when we talk about a life of service, yes, we think about veterans and the military members, and that's perfect. But a life of service is also police officers, firefighters, EMT, 911 operators, even hometown heroes. You think about teachers and coaches and mentors and all the time that they put in, quite often at no pay. They just volunteer their time to help
I don't know
people.
anything about that, Brien.
Yeah, exactly. So all of this is a life of service. Even caretakers come to mind when you think about that. So yeah, I would love to have everybody have a flag on this field of honor for their family member or friend. So there's a few different ways you can do it. We do have a website. It's called healingfield.org/event/Dennis 2024.
I'm going to drop the link. So if you're driving or you're listening right now and you're like, Stephanie, I can't remember that, I
Yeah,
will
I
drop the link so
appreciate
you
that.
can come back to us. I promise.
Thank you. I'm a rookie at this. You're the professional.
Hi, no, you got this. You're doing great.
Another way to do it is to connect me through our Facebook page, which is Field of Honor in Dennis. And I do reach out on Facebook with from our Facebook page to talk about different areas and times that we set up just to meet folks and to help them through the sponsored form. So there's multiple ways that you can sponsor a form.
Brien, what's your big end goal with this? Is it amount of flags? Is it amount of dollars? Is it amount of people? Like, what for you would be, I did my job, I'm the most fulfilled right now?
Yeah, so it actually has already changed from inception when I first took the
See how that
position.
happens?
Yeah, I was thinking, of all the good we can do with the money that we raise for charities all across the Cape that are, veteran and first responder centric. And there are so many, Cape Cod veterans, the equine therapy, the CCIV, the Cape Cod Islands Veteran Outreach Center. But there's also many first responder charities that we want to support. And I think previously, and my predecessor, Brian Hawksworth, who passed away last year, has done an amazing job for 12 years. And I can't imagine that I could walk into this and within less than a year, within 9 months, be able to, provide this display, if not for what he left me and for the volunteers that we have on the committee that are helping put this all together. So it's pretty amazing. But what we're trying to do is this is supposed to be Cape wide. It's not, it just happens to be in Dennis, right? This is a field of honor for the Cape that is in Dennis. And we're trying to change that paradigm a little bit. So I've had a lot of outreach to first responders this year. And I hope that helps. But to your original point, how has it changed? I thought about all the good that we could do across the Cape. But what really happened is it became about the people and the stories, right? And the display, and less so what we can do, although that's great. These stories are amazing that people want to share and talk about their friends and family members. It's amazing.
I love that because we do have really the most incredible people on the Cape. I cannot,
I
every
agree.
time I go away and I talk to other people about being here and living here, and I'm a wash ashore, although I've been here 25 years. My husband is born and raised. So there's a distinguished just a change. My children are Cape Cod kids.
There you
They're
go.
allowed that honor. I am not. But talking about being from here and the people that live here, it is really, we have some from artists to creators to people that have really lived a life of service and done so many incredible things throughout the world. It's incredible that it's only on our little small arm of people.
Right. Very true. I've been impressed as well. I came back, this is terrible. I don't even want to cross the bridge anymore.
That it happens. And you're talking about the Bass River Bridge, right?
That's funny. It's the second time somebody said that to me when I said that. But yeah,
100%. It
yeah,
happens.
yeah, it does. Less than a year. So,
Brian,
so
once
great.
again, how do people get a hold of you and we grow this field of honor to be across the Cape where it moves from town to town? I would love to see it
Sure.
displayed everywhere.
Absolutely. So you can get on our website. It's healingfield.org/event/Dennis 2024. That's the website. If you want to go on there, you can use a credit card. You can meet us at one of our stops where we meet and greet folks.
I definitely
And then,
suggest you do that because it's really, you feel it in your soul.
oh, absolutely. And the other option is you can connect with me through the Facebook page, or you can just email me, fieldofhonor.dennis@gmail.com. If you email me, I will connect with you and make sure that you have a sponsor form and that we get your flag on the field.
Keep up the good work. Field of
Thank
Honor
you.
and Dennis. Brien Hines, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate
Thank you
you.
for your time. I appreciate you letting me talk to you.